Assalamualaikum and hi. We will present the group assignment Fundamental of Management. Group member, the first is me, Siti Nurdiana binti Muhammad Ali, Aida Nur Irdina binti Matso, Nurul Adiba binti Muhammad Kamaruzan, Umi Nur Syuhada binti Azizan, and Siti Nurfiza binti Mikael Betty Arifin. Assalamualaikum, my name is Siti Nurdiana. So I will present about the question 1. The question is, briefly explain the general view of classical management theory and its 3 schools of thought. The first thing is, classical management theory is a body of management based on the belief that employees have only economical and physical needs, and that social needs and need for job satisfaction either don't exist or are unimportant. Classical management theory dominated management thinking in the 1920s and 1930s by emphasizing on the efficiency of the work process. There are 3 schools of thought: scientific management theory, which identify the best way to do aligned work; bureaucratic management, which focus on rule and procedure, hierarchy and clear division of labor; and administrative management, which emphasizes the flow of information. Scientific management theory. The first classical management theory is scientific management. Scientific management is a theory of management that analyzes and synthesizes workflows. Its main objective is improving economic efficiency, especially labor productivity. This management theory developed by Frederick Winslow Taylor. Taylor began the theory developed in the United States during the 1880s and 1890s within manufacturing industry, especially steel. Taylor was a mechanical engineer who was primarily interested in the type of work done in factory and mechanical shop. The scientific management theory focus on improving the efficiency of each individual in the organization. The major emphasis on increasing the production through the use of intensive technology, and the human being are just considered as adjust to machine in the performance of routine tasks. There are 4 Taylor's scientific management principles that is developed assigned for each element of individual work to replace the old rule of thumb method. Next, scientifically select and then train, teach and develop the worker. Thirdly, cooperate with the workers so as to ensure that all work is done in accordance with the principle of the science that has been developed. And the last is divide work and responsibilities almost equally between management and workers. Management does all work for which it is better suited than the worker. Taylor's experience at Midwell led him to define clear guidelines for improving production efficiency. He argued that this for scientific management would result in prosperity for both worker and manager.
A very good morning to my fellow friends and our respected lecturer. General administrative theory focuses more on what managers do and what constitutes good management practice. Henry Fayol identified 4 functions that manager performs, which are planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. He also outlines 14 areas where the manager will approach people and try to move everybody in the right direction. The first is division of work. Task specialization is meant to increase productivity, where each person gets tasks that they are good at it. The second is authority. In other words, manager is entitled to place orders. The third is discipline. Employees must obey and respect rules that govern the organization. Fourth, managers should pursue unity of command. In other words, an employee should receive orders from one supervisor only. Number 5, unity of direction. Everybody is pushing in the same direction. Number 6, subordination of individual interest to the general interest. An individual employee should put personal interest aside and pursue the greater purpose. Number 7 is the remuneration of personnel. He thought people should be paid fairly. Number 8 is centralization. Fayer believed that the correct balance of centralized decision-making should be found by managers. Number 9 is the scalar chain. For Fayer, allowing people to speak directly as long as it is alright with the supervisor would be much more effective. Number 10 is order. Managers had to put people in the right place to get the best out of everybody. Number 11 is equity. This meant equal treatment and equity when dealing with people. Number 12, he believed in the stability of tenure and personnel. He wanted people to stay in their jobs when they are good at their job because it was good for the organization. Number 13, initiative. Managers should encourage and inspire the initiative of employees. And 14, esprit de corps. He wanted to establish unity and harmony in organization. Max Weber is well known for the term bureaucracy. Each authority in the organizational hierarchy should be linked to its official position. Therefore, this was his way to balance power and keep things organized and rational. He wanted to standardize recruitment guidelines because he was concerned about favoritism, and he wanted to recruit the best people to work in and organize the organizations in a sensible way. Organizations should seem to him to extend the administration and the juridical system. This meant he would not follow the traditional family system in which the head of the family was responsible. He did not think that they were the right way to run large companies. That's all from me. I will pass the presentation to the next presenter. Thank you.
My name is Nurul Adiba binti Muhammad Kamalzan and my matric number is A20A1846. I will present about the major contribution of classical management theories. So the first major contribution of classical management theory is clear division of labor. To be more easier to understand, it seems as a word specialization where it was divide the work activities into separate job tasks. Division of labor, one of the effective and efficient ways to the organization. By having a division of labor, the time will automatically not be wasted because the workers know what they're supposed to do on their duties. The second one is can increase workers' wages. It actually depends on the skills that the workers have. The more skills workers have, the more wages they will get. This is because the skills workers might have a high responsibility to their jobs rather than the lowest skills workers. For the third one is decision making by single leader. It is important to single leader who responsible to give direction to their subordinates. This is because when the single leader give a direction, they will make accurate decision because each decision are made will knows by them first. And the last one is hierarchical organization structure. It is actually have four levels of management. It's begin with top manager, follows by middle manager, first line manager, and the last level is team leader. And each levels has their own responsibility and goals to achieve. At the same time, by having a hierarchical organization structure, it might have a better communication from different levels of management. For example, that we can take if we works in within the group or team in one of the company, we would know to whom we supposed to submit our task given. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. My name is Umina Syahada binti Azizan and my metric number is A20A2053. Today, I want to present about drawback of classical management theory. Classical management theory has drawbacks such as failure to consider the informal organization, human machinery, untested assumptions, rely on experience, static condition, and unintended consequences. The first drawback of classical management theory is failure to consider the informal organization. In this theory, they always do a basic assumption that many workers are only motivated by money and they work hard only to get more money. All of these assumptions are failed to recognize the workers may have needs and wants that are unrelated to the workplace. The next drawbacks of classical management theory is untested assumption. This could be happen because many assumptions made by classical writers were only based not on scientific tests, but only on value judgmental that express on what are they believed to be moral codes, proper lifestyles, and attitudes towards successful. Next is human machinery. Classical management theory leaves the impression organization is a machine and all the workers are extra energy and to be fit into the machine to make works run quickly and efficiently. This is not good for a worker because classical management creates frustrations among the employee. The last is reliance on experience. For more information, many writers in the classical management theory develop their ideas on their experience as a consultants or managers at only certain types of organization, but there something had been done previously in terms of generating a useful body of management theory. That's all from me. Thank you.
Moving to the next question, which is express your view on the relevance of the classical management theory to today's work content. In my opinion, it is still relevant because it is the most comprehensive theory involving manager relationship with employee. This theory help manage employee as best as possible. This theory allows subordinates to give their opinion on matter to superior. And since workers are not a machine, they always make mistake. Applying this theory will ensure that workers do their job correctly. The company can also run smoothly when the team is working dynamically. The second is the theory requires a manager to establish an appropriate organization. This theory believes employees should not have to bear undue burden. Its members only need to follow every instruction given to do their job perfectly. The last one is help by organizing the organization. It helps employees perform tasks in a more organized way with a division for each task. According to specific bureaus or department, the division of function makes employees perform jobs that fall under their area of expertise to avoid errors. This theory is relevant to use because the work can be done more effectively.
The organization can also track every offense committed more easily without involving all other departments and an employee. In conclusion, looking at the benefit this theory brings, I strongly agree that they are still relevant for use in current work situation, even if they are not entirely perfect. Thank you.